barriers. I'm just here to let the world know that living for God is not boring, and you can be.
Save and fly. Let's get it out.
It's Alexandria Jae. What everybody else telling you, I don't care what your mama said, I don't care what your daddy said. You can be saved and fly at the same time. I'm dope and I love Jesus. What's up? Get at me. So we are here. We're live in the studio, and I'm so excited, y'all, because I have three amazing people in this studio with me tonight. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about, what's going on in their life or whatever. We're going to start with this guy because you guys already know who this one is. He's no stranger to Saved and Still Fly. Andrew is in the building. What's up, Andrew?
I'm in the building. What's up? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
Andrew's always tired. Have you guys noticed, if you guys have kept up with the show, Andrew literally, every time I ask him how he's doing, I'm tired. What's been going on?
I think it would make sense for anybody who travels across the country, usually in a matter of hours, to get here would be tired. This time, however, in a matter of 3 long days, would be tired. So about a 14-hour stretch yesterday.
Right.
Driving.
Right. And tell us why you made that trip, Andrew.
I made that trip because I recently graduated on Sunday from Hampton University with my Bachelor's of Science degree in business marketing with a minor in psychology.
That's right. And how do you feel?
I don't know yet. I don't know how to feel, because
the man is looking for a job.
There's
That's
something
how he
next,
feels.
Exactly. There's more left, so
Listen.
you can't just get the degree and sit at home. So there's more to do.
Right. There's always more to do. Well, we appreciate you being here, and you guys will definitely be hearing a lot more of him, of course, now that the kid is home. I'm going to move on to this next young lady is in the building. I love this girl, y'all. I'm so excited for y'all to meet her and get acquainted. Trib Liv, Olivia, what's up, girl?
Hello, turn me up. Hey. My name's Olivia. The real ones know me as Trib Liv.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What are you doing?
Point Loma right now, struggling to get that bachelor's.
Listen, but you're going through it.
I'm going through it.
And what is your major?
Psychology.
Okay. And you just celebrated a birthday.
I did. I'm 20.
She's 20.
20.
Listen, the big 2-0. No more teenage years.
No more.
Baby
no more.
girl.
Baby girl. I'm out here.
Listen.
I'm really out here.
Wow. So how do you feel? Be 20 now? You're just living life.
I'm still feeling 19, but in a few weeks it'll kick in.
Right.
I'll feel 20.
Right.
But yeah.
So tell us what's up with your ministry. What are you doing ministry-wise, just so people can get to know you a little bit.
Okay, bet. Right now I'm pursuing to be a youth pastor at my church. I go to North Park Apostolic Church, so I'm just taking the proper steps to get that in motion. Just facilitating life groups with youth and young adults right now. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Dope. Dope. Super dope. Well, we're going to hear more from her, of course, in a second. We're chopping it up this whole hour, y'all, so I hope y'all are ready and y'all are going to interact with us tonight because we are going to go there. But we have this last person that we're going to introduce. This is my brother, my friend. Jonathan McCaleb is in the building. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
How are you feeling?
I'm tired like Andrew,
you
but
know
I'm
what?
good.
There we go.
Olivia,
Somebody
what's
who
going
gets
on?
it.
Is it just
somebody who gets it?
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
sis,
why
I'm
he's
up.
here.
I'm up. Right.
Listen.
I'm up. I'm lit. So I don't know what's going
I
on.
need God's strength. Pray for me.
No, we're going to pray for strength. But what's up, bro? What's going on with you? What is your life about? What's going on?
Nothing right now. Just right now I've been ministering a lot, preaching a lot of different places. The youth pastor at my church right now. So with that, we have a lot of different stuff that we've been doing lately. So like today, we was outreach since 8, 9 this morning. So right now, just trying to do that, trying to keep myself from being so busy and trying to find time to relax. But other than that, just keeping busy in the kingdom.
Dope, dope. And I'm so excited that they are here, you guys, because there's a lot of different, I would say we've all grown up in church, but we've seen a lot of different things. So I'm super excited to have them here. And then, so we know Olivia is 20, Andrew is 21. I'm 25. Jonathan, tell them how old you are.
25.
25. So we've got, this age group is here tonight, y'all. We're going to chop it up. We're going to get into some real life discussion. So I hope you guys are ready. Before we do that, though, y'all already know we like to kick it off with prayer to start off the show. So I am going to do that. And tonight, y'all, what has been pressing on my heart the last few days is just praying for people that feel isolated or feel separated. Because I really don't like the word isolation. I feel like isolation is you doing that to yourself. But if you're being separated, that's something that is God ordained. That's something that is literally intentional and designed for your life if God is separating you and calling you to be set apart. So I was thinking about Paul, who is one of my most favorite Bible figures, and how Paul was on his road to Damascus thinking he was go over there, about to persecute the saints and everything. And God was like, no, I'm finna give you an experience. So he knocked the man off his beast, and, he had a visitation from God. And after that visitation, Paul was blind for 3 days, did not eat. Like, he was literally in the dark for 3 entire days by himself. Um, and what I love about this story, though, is that this whole time that Paul was confused in the dark in solitary confinement, but I hate that. So separated, while God was separating him, God was literally on the other side talking to a man about his deliverance and talking to somebody about, the way that Paul was going to be healed and what he was going to use Paul to do, who went on to be one of the greatest apostle. So it's just amazing that I just want to encourage whoever is feeling separated, just know that some of the greatest miracles can only start when you're in the dark.
Yeah.
So please, please, please be encouraged to know that God is talking to somebody about your deliverance, and he's about to send somebody your way so that you can be healed and so that you can be commissioned to go and do what God has called you to do. So has anybody, let me just ask real quick. So have you ever felt separated, Jonathan, on this walk that we have been called to? Have you ever felt separated?
I felt separated since I started ministry.
Yeah.
I remember ever since in high school, I remember I could be in a room full of people and still feel by myself. And people don't really understand about that separation, but it wasn't until it was broken down. Like you said, Paul had to go down the road of Damascus to be separated.
Right.
He sent Elijah to the brook of Cherith to be separated.
Yeah.
But I learned, like, during that separation time, it's definitely not easy. It's lonely.
Yep.
It's a hard thing. But during that time in separation, when I say you find God in places, God will show up for you in ways you wouldn't even think that he would.
Yeah.
But it's during that separation time that he can talk to you.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes he needs to pull you away from everybody else and say, okay, let me get your ear. Let me show you what I want before I can send you back out.
Yeah.
So separation is not forever, but it's for the time that you're being able to be fine-tuned.
Yeah.
It's the time where God has to refine you and make you what he wants you to be.
Yeah, I think we've all been victims of just letting too many people talk to us, letting too many people get in our head, letting too many people get in our space. You cannot have everybody in your space. You cannot have everybody in your circle. So please be cautious of that, and just know that if you are being separated, it's probably because God has something that he wants to say to you. So pay attention to what's around you and what's going on. So I'm going to have Andrew pray really quick for those people who are out there feeling separated or feeling by themselves. Just pray that we would be okay with the dark. And knowing that God is about to really show up and give us our deliverance.
All right, God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us to yet another day, yet another moment in you. We ask you now, Lord God, that you would touch hearts, minds, spirits, souls, and bodies that feel separated in this moment. We ask that you would touch, Lord God, the mental capacity that you have instilled into them. We ask right now, Lord God, that depression would not be their portion, that they would not flow into a space of feeling that they're looking at a brick wall, Lord God, but they will see the future that you have opened up for them. We ask you now that you would send the right people to help them deal with their separation, oh God. Even though they're separated, let them know that they're not alone, that they're not by themselves, that there are others who are going through the same thing. Send your peace, Lord God, your peace that surpasses all understanding. God, we thank you in advance for seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Let them know that this is not where they'll stay and that you have so much more for them to see. God, we thank you in advance for the big reveal is on the way, and it is almost showtime. In Jesus' name, we decree it and declare it. It is so. Amen.
Amen. It's almost showtime. Get ready. It is almost showtime. Listen, we going to chop it up this hour. This is just the beginning. We got some good topics for y'all. I promise you're going to want to stick around. You're going to want to get your fingers ready to type in your questions, all that good stuff. We're going in. Kicking us off, though, with a little bit of music is I Got That, the remix by my boy Anthony Brown and Group Therapy. Keep it locked. This is Saved and Still Fly on GODRadio1.com.
If you're in the building and you're winning, stand up. Wherever you are, if you're winning, hands up. If you're in the building and you're winning, stand up. Hey man, sometimes
Not the root.
it takes the bad days to appreciate the good ones. But no matter what, but you just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. 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 To every winner, every champion, every overcomer. This song
That sounds so good.
for you.
Real good.
So mad at this.
Oh
Literally,
my gosh.
like when I returned, I had to sing. And I'm like, put this one in. And I was like,
It was amazing.
so mad I missed it.
It was like from beginning to end, hours. Hi, Facebook.
To smile.
Oh, that's a good question. It's okay. I'm getting an education. Yeah. It's okay. Are you?
Cause my blessings on the way. Yeah. The Bible never said
On campus?
that the weapons wouldn't form, you know?
Oh,
They might form, but they won't prosper. Yeah. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. 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 Winning.
Let the whole church say amen. Living life day by day, man. Say, man. Jesus' name we pray, man. They know where we come from, yeah. Who finna run from, yeah. Who finna run from Satan? Not me, and don't you neither. I know the pain reliever. Still with the finders keepers. And we gon' blow your speakers. Hey, never gon' get amnesia. We ain't gon' turn no breather. Gotta say thank you, Jesus. Cause I know I got
Facebook.
hey, Facebook. How you doing? Turn that back. Get here now. Get to this radio station. What's up?
There's a live.
I'm about to be a junior.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah. Hey, look up, look
It's
up,
beautiful.
look up, look up.
It's gorgeous.
Run that back like, yeah.
The only time I see somebody that looks like me is when I look right in that mirror. So it's a little difficult.
Look up, look up, look up, look up, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you,
If I can go back
every time
to
you,
it, I may have.
every time you,
Yeah.
Where?
tell them like, look up, look up, look up, look up, yeah. Oh, every time you look up, every time you look up, look up. Look up, look up, look up, look up, yeah. Greater is he that lives inside of me. You got greatness inside of you. Don't you forget it. They said I wasn't gonna make it. They said it couldn't be done. But every time they see me, they said I wasn't gonna. Said I wasn't gonna. Every time you. Said I wasn't gonna. Said I wasn't gonna. Said I. But you did.
Hey.
You said, but you did.
Wait, did he?
I just noticed that.
Well, I know. I just noticed that too. That's crazy. He literally said, but you did. Like, you made it out. Anyways, okay. That was the I Got That remix. Welcome back. This is Saved and Still Fly, and that was the I Got That remix by Anthony Brown and Groot Therapy, my turn up song. I love that song. And y'all already know. Y'all, see, my Saved and Still Fly folks, y'all already know I love me some trap gospel. So that is where it's at. That lane, that trap gospel lane. I'm there. Like, I'm with it. Okay? Okay.
Okay, sis.
Moving on.
No, for real though. Okay, we're gonna talk about like music in a second, just because I want to hear these folks' opinions in here. Once we get to our music segment, I'm gonna break that down a little bit so we can hear some opinions about, music in the church as it relates to, just kind of how Andrew. I hate when he looks at me like this. Anyways, I know what I'm trying to say. We'll get into that in a second. Right now, though, let's kick off, some of our conversations with a little word association game. I'm going to play this game really quick. It is the church version word association. So super simple. I'm just going to say a word for y'all, and y'all just got to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
And we're going to kick it off that way. Yeah?
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So let's get it.
Oh man.
And actually, how should we do this? Because there's 3 people.
Right.
So let me see.
What do you?
I guess I'm going to go.
You
I'll
can't
go
just
down
go
the
person
line.
by-
Yeah, I'm going to go
yeah.
person by person. So Liv, you got the first one, and we'll go line by
All
line.
right.
Ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Wait, are we all doing the same word?
Yeah, let's do the same
That's
word.
what I
That
was
way we
gonna
can
say.
get some
We can all
different.
see. But you gotta like do it quick.
Yeah, quick.
No thinking.
Okay.
just
No,
say-
yeah, don't
Now
think
I'm
it.
nervous.
Don't think it. No, don't be sis.
Here we
It's
go.
Okay,
Here we
okay, here we
go.
go. Y'all ready?
Mhm.
Here's the
Okay.
first one. Liv, you got it?
Yep.
Pastor.
Mine.
Father.
Shepherd.
Okay, listen, we got to be quick. Let's.
I thought you was going.
Oh, no. I'm giving out the words. Y'all just got it. I'm giving out the words. So this is on y'all.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That was a little rough.
Yeah, so that was
Okay.
that was a little test
tester,
round. That was a
yeah.
little test round. Y'all ready?
All right.
Mhm.
Here's the next one. Worship.
Leader.
Praise.
Connection.
Connection. Connection. Okay.
Why did I say praise?
Okay. Well, I mean, I get that one. Worship and praise. Okay.
Okay,
I mean, I
connecting with
guess.
What did you?
God.
Oh,
You're
leader
cutting-
was good. That was good.
Right.
I just put 2 words together.
Right. Just
okay.
make it a phrase.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So let me see. Let's go. Hurt.
Heart.
Love.
Sad.
I don't know why my mind is naturally saying the opposite.
You said love.
What do you mean?
Like you said, worship. Not that praise is the opposite because they intertwine, but culturally, like you said, worship. I said praise. You said hurt. I said love.
Yeah.
Like I think that this game is just proof, and we'll keep. You probably have a couple more words, but like how our minds
Think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
actually
I'll,
really.
I'll explain why I think I do that too. Go ahead.
And I'm shocked that nobody said church because that was my
Oh,
first
wow.
thing.
No.
Probably because
Okay.
you've been.
Yeah.
That's where you've experienced your
Church.
most church.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised nobody said it.
Huh.
But
That's
that's
funny.
good.
Yeah.
Not funny, but
So
ironic.
so why do you guys maybe do you think that that's a stereotype against us that maybe like our generation we're hung up like on church hurt or what do you guys think?
I think.
ahead.
Okay, so for me, this is something I was just recently talking to someone about. So for me, a lot of people say like I don't go to church because other church people like they're mean
Right.
and they're this and they're that.
Right.
But I just connected it like with school. Like there's people that you don't like at your school, but you still go because you chasing that degree,
Hello.
right?
Hello.
So you still like, regardless of the fact that you don't like people at your church, you still need to go because like you need breakthrough.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
something there that you need. So forget the people that are there.
Mhm.
Like you're in need of something. And so I believe that church hurt is a real thing and it is super prevalent. But it's like we gotta get past that because like
Yeah.
in the church is God because where there is unity, He's there.
Exactly.
So
That's good.
yeah.
That's good. What we're gonna say.
I think in church, that's definitely one of the biggest things because it's stereotypical now that most people who don't go to church, they think, well, I don't want to go because they're going to look at me like that, or I was hurt in the church, or I know somebody that was hurt in the church. So now for people who's not there every Sunday, I think they forget. Most church folk don't know that they're held on a pedestal
Yeah.
to people that's not in the church.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they come in the church and see them act like them, they're like, oh, wait,
Right.
I could have stayed out there because it was supposed to be a difference when I
Yeah.
came in here.
Yeah.
So I think with that, we have to realize that a lot of people that's coming in are expecting us to be different than what they're seeing every day.
Right. Right.
And I think it hurts that when we get behind the curtain and see that it's still the same, but of course we all have fallen short of the glory, but some people we expect more sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it's hurtful. It's more hurtful to receive it from a person that you thought was up here.
Right. Right.
So-
So you guys would say then, Andrew, I guess I'll kick this into you. You would say that maybe church hurt is one of the reasons why millennials, for lack of a better term, because I'm starting to hate that, to be honest, because people are throwing.
I'm not
it-
even a millennial to be honest.
Yeah.
You're not. Andrew missed it, I think, by 1 year. But just the throwing it, we're throwing that word kind of around a lot. The millennials this and the millennials that, which is fine because I guess it represents a generation. But would you guys say that is one of the reasons why some of us are not in church or not wanting to go. But in order for you to have church hurt, you have to have really experienced something for like been in it for a while. So what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I definitely think that's part of the reason. I won't say it's most. Um, I think it's. I think okay. There's lanes to it. So like for people who see church, I guess you could say from the perspective that me and Jonathan see it, ministry wise, even Olivia at this point, ministry wise, a lot of our hurt has come from the generation before us who hasn't kind of reached back and said, this is how you do it. This is how you do it the right way. Instead, they were showing us, but the example that we got was twisted.
Right.
So that's where a lot of our hurt comes from. Others, like you said, Jonathan, they just want to see some type of difference and they don't get it.
Yeah.
Other people, honestly, I'm willing to kind of not necessarily throw our generation under the bus, but be honest and say a lot of us think we know it all and don't like to be reprimanded, don't like to be corrected, don't like to be changed. So when we hear 1 ounce of a rule or a standard, we're pushed away because there's such freedom in God, but still you're restricting me to this, that, and the third.
Right.
So I think there's definitely a lot of reasons, but that's definitely one.
Right. Okay. I got you. So then that kind of brings me to and maybe another point where, we hear a lot that the church is fake or, nobody's keeping it real in the church anymore. And that kind of intertwines with like the church hurt or like the, getting done wrong in church and that sort of thing. So where have we gone wrong in the church with not keeping it 100, as we say, and not really wanting to grasp our generation? Where has the church gone wrong?
I just think we haven't been honest enough. Everybody who has reached a certain platform or a certain pedestal, not everybody, but most, have made it seem as though they deserve to be there. When we all understand that without God's grace and mercy, none of us are where we are today, period.
Yeah.
So I think the mask of now I have to put this on because I'm here, as opposed to not forgetting where I was as to why I got here, has been misconstrued and misrepresented. So if more people at the top would admit that they have flaws, I think
Yeah.
we'd be okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I think so because when you speak on that, the more leaders at the top, because I know a lot of people, the church is the biggest place that people come to put a mask to come into.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the reason that they don't feel that they're accepted in the church. And I think that's because they feel that when I come in here, if I'm not this type of way, if I'm dealing with this, or if they see me like this, I won't be accepted. So I'd rather show them a fake me, put on a mask, put on a smile. Oh, I don't deal with anything.
Right.
I'm perfect the way you want me to be perfect without going, hey, I'm undone. I'm messed up. And because they go, I'm not going to show myself because if I do, what are y'all going to think of me?
Yeah.
So I think the transparency is needed to go, hey, I messed up too, so I get it. I
Right.
know where you're coming from. I think it would be easier for people to come and say, hey, I'm dealing with this, or this has happened, instead of now I got to get my church shoes, I got to get my suit, I got to get my dress, but I got to get my mask too. So whatever I had going on here when I pull up in the car of the church, I'm putting my mask on, so when I come in, everybody can see my beautiful smile and praise the Lord and how
Right.
you doing. And now it's become a routine thing every Sunday.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you
Olivia,
guys.
anything?
Do you have something?
I just feel like a big thing is that people no longer share their testimony.
Yeah.
And our word says that we're free by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
Right.
Like, tell me what you've been through,
Right.
because if you share that, then perhaps I can overcome what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, like, people just aren't sharing what they used to go through because of who they are now, and they don't want to reach back and touch that. But they don't realize that there's not only freedom for them in that, but there's freedom for someone else. And so I just think we're just not like sharing our testimony enough and letting people see the real us and who we used to be.
Right. I completely agree. I will say to both of those answers, though, because you guys kind of both were talking about a mask, essentially, and letting people in on the real you. My biggest problem with the church, and forgive me if I get a little riled up right here. Okay. My biggest problem is we lack discernment. And what I mean by that is we have people every single week coming in there with masks on, coming in there hurting, coming in there with hands lifted high and worshiping and crying, and then they go home and want to take their life. But we do not see that because we're so caught up in our own pride and, oh my God, I made the church shout today. I must have done something. Oh my God, God must have really moved. Oh, the breakthrough must, nope, because they went home and cried themselves to sleep. So where is your discernment enough to know that this person is actually really hurting behind all of this mask and all of this makeup and all of this good-looking dress and good-looking suit? Where is your discernment and power enough to really break this stuff off of people? Because I have a problem when people are saying, no, you need to speak up. You need to let somebody know what's going on, which I get and I understand. But we as the church are supposed, especially leaders in the church, I feel like we should be praying for discernment to be able to see something's not right, and we need to get this right, and we need to fix it so that you can be healed, so that you can be whole. So that is my biggest problem with the church. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about that, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were just saying, no, people just have to be willing to speak up. And I'm like, I mean, I understand that, but where is the line drawn to where you're supposed to be my leader, and you don't even see, you can't see it?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But.
I mean, there's an old saying that says, if the grease is hot enough, the chicken will fry. And I know that's, I'm going somewhere with that. If the grease is hot enough. So my thing is, there's a temperature in every house, right? In every church, in every pastor, or every, I guess, gathering of believers. So specifically, I would say, like you said, that falls on the intercessors of the house. That falls on the ministers, the elders, the deacons, to pray such a prayer that, Lord, if the depressed walk in, if the broken walk in, if the anxious walk in, if the fearful walk in, if the doubtful, if the raped, if the molested, if the abandoned, if the broken walk in this door, let them not even leave wanting to stay the way they did. And I think the blame, like you said, has to come off the victim and go on to our houses, that our grease simply isn't hot enough. If the grease is hot enough, the chicken will fry. If I'm broken, I should walk in and want to leave free. I should see so many free people in this house like, hey, I want that. I want that joy. I haven't had that in a while. I want that. How do I get what you have? And I think we haven't saturated our houses enough in prayer, and we're so focused on presentation that we've lost the power. And Jonathan's going to talk about that in a couple of weeks at an event that we have coming up. But I think we've been so presentation driven, which is why a lot of people come in broken and leave the same, because we're so focused on how dark and ambient it is in your worship experience, when really we've turned it into a romantic moment.
Come on.
And not something where we actually connect with the Father. You know, worship is more than blue lights and smoke. And yes, it's presentation, but there should be a change when I get out of his presence.
Yeah, I think you hit it. We focus more on presentation. I don't care about your lights. Like, I really don't care about your lights. And I think that a lot of us don't. I think we want a real move of God, and where we go and we actually feel the presence of God. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want. So I don't see I don't know where all the hype came. I think that's where people kind of just got there. They felt like that's what we wanted and that's what we needed. I don't really know, but we just want God.
I don't know. I somewhat feel, and Jonathan, I kind of want to see. Actually, you know what, Olivia, I'm going to give this to you. I kind of feel like, and you can tag on, but I want to see what she thinks. I kind of feel like the church lost their identity somewhere. And I don't know where. But, and I don't know the answer, but I just kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts. Like, do we have an identity anymore? Does the church even know who we are?
So I believe that we have stepped away from so much of the stuff that was needed. Like you talked about the discernment and the power. One of the biggest things with me growing up, and before I decided to really just full on jump in it, was the mothers. The mothers played such a vital role in my life when it comes to ministry, and because they would come up out of nowhere and say, hey, don't let the devil use you. God still has a calling on your life. They would come up out of nowhere and go, hey, you don't have to worry about it. God is going to fix the situation. They understood, and because they took the time out to spend time with God. So I think now church is so ministry driven that we've put ministry over the God. And so now we're pushing church, we're pushing our brand, we're pushing our agenda. But so now we have 20,000 interviews, we have to promote, we have photo shoots, but don't have time to pray. And so now what that has caused is a building that doesn't have any power anymore. As a little kid, I would always hear the mother say, little prayer, little power. Much prayer, much power. No prayer, no power. And now I feel that we don't have it because we don't spend the time with God
Yeah.
anymore. It's hard to have discernment if you don't know the voice of God.
Right.
Right.
And it's hard to know the voice of God if you don't ever spend time with Him.
Right.
So
Right.
Mm.
I agree. I don't know if you had anything to that.
No,
Ruby.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I would say because, like you said, we don't spend time with God anymore. So, and there's people chiming in on Facebook just about, you know, we're needing more of a prayer life. Just because I feel like the church does lack power. We don't have as much power, I think, as we could have if we really did activate more of the, you know, our prayer lives. And, you know, that somebody told me this yesterday, just the fasting and the prayer. We have to go back to that
Yeah.
in order to really have the power that the church needs.
back to the basics.
Back to the basics, right? To have the power that the church needs to grab our generation and to keep us. I think that's going to be important. It's definitely prayer. We're going to come back in a second. We've got one song for you guys right now. This is Favor by Jordan Armstrong, and then we're going to come back. We've got a couple more topics. Hope you guys are ready because it's going to go a little deeper, a little harder. So let's get it. Keep it locked. This is Favor by Jordan Armstrong on GODRadio1.com.
She be riding in a Jeep
Hey, Dad.
and she party on the weekend. She be rolling through them streets. Yeah, different rapper every season. It ain't always been that way. No, it ain't always been their season. But they know gotta make a way to get you through them situations. Yeah, on and on. Gotta do some things just to blow your mind. On and on. Now you're walking in that favor, feeling so alive. Just keep your head high to the greatest. Super fresh up in the latest. They never thought that you would make it, but look, mama, we made it. It's so crazy, it's so alive. Yeah, I can go on and on because down on the scene. Yeah, I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me.
It's less than 2%
Like rain.
You know what I mean?
I really hope
So it's like,
you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me.
Right.
That's what it do, yeah. You don't do the
which I
counterfeit. No, cause you got so much to accomplish. Yeah. You're on your way up to the top. You stay winning and you won't stop. Everything's official, so official. If I hate it, you wait and blow the whistle.
I know, that's how
it's
Ain't don't mind. I just can't tell you, and you was on and on. Gotta do some things just to blow your mind. On and on. Now you're walking in that favor, feeling so alive. Keep your head high to the grace. Super fresh up in the latest. They
Anybody
never
on
thought that you would make it, but
What do you
look,
guys
mama,
talk
we
about?
made it. It's so crazy, it's so alive. Yeah, I can go on and on.
What are we supposed to do? Like,
You say this is what
On the same.
Well,
I
right,
really
like-
hope you ready. So much grace
I definitely don't
and
agree with
favor.
all men voting for it.
Hallelujah.
Right. That's a problem. But
I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. That's what it do, yeah. Water, the signing, it's raining, it's good. I got it. The favor, it's on me.
there's so many times.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold up, pull up. You probably should get these blessings. It's pouring, flood, 104 times. The favor on me, I can't love. Hold up, pull up, probably should get these blessings. It's pouring, flood, going down on the scene. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah.
And God forbid they be raped by a family member.
Like rain. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. That's what it do, yeah.
that's my question.
No No, but I wouldn't kill it.
So then give it up. That's what you're saying.
Right.
That's what you're saying. Huh? Isn't it though? This song is amazing. So good.
On Saturday, June 22nd, 2019, Albertsons and Bonds presents the San Diego County Fair.
This year's theme is the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and it will be Oz. As we celebrate the 15th Annual Gospel Festival, an all-day celebration of great gospel music on 5 different stages.
From bands, choirs, and quartets to dance, spoken word, and hip-hop, your spirit will be uplifted with the Toyota Concert Series headliners,
The incomparable, legendary Clark Sisters.
along with the Walls Group.
I don't wanna be.
Don't miss the 15th Annual Gospel Festival at the San Diego County Fair on Saturday, June 22nd.
With the legendary Clark Sisters and the Walls Group. For more information, go to sdfair.com. Save the date and be there because it will be awesome.
Yes. Let's go.
Fried chicken and waffles, fish and chips, shrimp and hush puppies, red beans and rice, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, candied yams, cornbread, gumbo, sweet potato pie, red velvet cake, and peach cobbler. Are you hungry yet? Well, make your way on down to Louisiana Famous Fried Chicken and Waffles. It's a great taste to visit. Located at 2850 National Avenue in the city of San Diego. Stop by today and check out our daily specials, family value packs, and vegetarian options. Louisiana Famous Fried Chicken and Waffles is the place where you can also get JT Sweet Tea, country made, country sweet.
Okay, I'm
now,
sorry.
family, if you like good Southern food,
Okay.
go down today.
He said, I want-
Louisiana Famous Fried Chicken and Waffles, 2850 National Avenue
I
in the
know,
city of
I
San
know.
Diego.
I'ma be good for
Louisiana
tomorrow
Famous
morning.
Fried Chicken and Waffles. It's a great taste to visit.
Jazz at the Creek returns with a new groove for Memorial Day weekend, May 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Market Creek Plaza Amphitheater in San Diego. Check out the lineup that's waiting for you on Friday, May
Oh, she
24th.
would come in.
Dubbing session, Chuck Evans,
LOL,
SDC Factory, The Wild Side Band, and DJ John Phillips. On Saturday, May 25th, Sons of Maestro, Lynn Roundtree, Deneen Wilburn featuring Kamal Kenyatta, Kendrick Dial, and the Lyrical Groove. And on Sunday, May 26th, Jazz and Pink, Reggie Codrington, Daryl Williams featuring Daryl Walker, and Arissa Nicole. VIP dinner packages are available as well as 3-day packages. And don't forget, a portion of the proceeds benefits Mandate Project Impact's mentorship internship program, and of course, the Food for Kids backpack program. Jazz at the Creek, a new groove Memorial Day weekend at the Market Creek Plaza Amphitheater. Visit jazzatthecreeksd.com for more information and to grab your tickets.
Hey, welcome back. This is Saved and Still Fly with your girl, Alexandria Jae on GODRadio1.com. And before all of those amazing commercials, please take heed to that. We did hear Favor by Jordan Armstrong. We was in here grooving. That's a whole groove. That's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. And this is what I was going to ask them about because there's a lot of people who say, you know, I feel personally that gospel doesn't necessarily have a sound, but that sound could be interpreted as like R&B, you know, hip hop. And then I've talked about it on the show before too. Like, for example, Tasha Cobbs has featured like Nicki Minaj on her record. You know, the secular artist combining with the gospel artist, that type of thing. What, just really quick, because we got other stuff to talk about. What do you guys think about that? Just super quick.
About the secular artist coming with the gospel
Yeah,
artist?
that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that when God gives you a gift, he gives it without wanting it back.
Uh-huh.
So if someone asks you to be on a song, whether it's a secular artist for a gospel or gospel for secular, I just think that, I'm done. I just think that, like, I don't see any fault in them doing it because they have a gift. If they're successful in it, that's their gift. Whether they're perverting it or not is up to them. But like, if I don't know, I just don't see a problem with it.
I think gospel music definitely has a sound. I'd have to disagree with you on that one.
Well, what I meant was, let me try and clarify it. What I meant is that the gospel is a message, right? So the gospel, if you want to be technical, it just is the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. That is the message, the gospel of Jesus Christ. So that's what I'm saying. Like, does that message have to sound a certain way in order for the message to be the same?
The message doesn't, but the presentation can. Like, so I think there are different ways to present one message.
So you saying Nicki Minaj can't be on the record with Tasha Cobbs?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that that's a problem. That's a way of presenting the message. But I think there is an original sound that was birthed through our forefathers and ancestors that was created through gospel music per se, that I think is still living on, quite frankly. But I have no issue with collaboration with gospel rap, gospel trap. I have no issue with that at all. But I still do think there is sometimes that one artist or that one song that I can hear like, oh, this is church.
I think it's the biggest thing is hearing the difference.
Yeah, that's
because
all.
you would hear people say, like if I said, hey, I want to listen to R&B, I know what it's going to sound like. I want to hear rock and roll, I know what it's going to sound like. I want to hear country, I know what it's going to sound like. I want to hear gospel, I know what it's going to sound like. So if you go, I want to hear gospel, but it sounds like my R&B track. What's the difference?
Not that it's
now?
a problem,
but now it's no
but
different.
there is
now
a
it's
sound.
the same thing. So now they're going, wait, why does I can listen to the R&B, but when I turned on the gospel, I didn't expect to still hear my R&B. I expected to hear my gospel. So I think that's the sound and the difference of the sound is the biggest thing.
Yeah, but there are ways to like travel through different avenues. Like for example, my Uncle Jason has a song out called Forever, right? You can play that song
At a wedding.
At a funeral.
Yeah.
In
praise and worship.
During altar call. Like it's a message, but the sound isn't necessarily gospel. But it was effective. But that doesn't mean he's not a gospel artist because his message remained. The gospel artist, I guess, is based on the message, not the sound. But I do think gospel has a sound.
Yeah.
I guess.
Touchy subject. I think we'd have to have somebody else more experienced who's actually in the industry to tell us that.
I mean, this is why I brought them in, because I'm in here feeling convicted now. But I mean, it's true. Like we are called to be separated and to be holy, to be stand out. So I do understand what Jonathan was saying. Like there has to be a distinction and a difference. But I don't think there's anything wrong with feel-good music either, like in the gospel or Christian world. And that's why we're going to play this next song. It's called Okay by Kirk Franklin, which is a new one. And then we've got a good topic for you guys. But I do want to just play this song for you guys really quick. And, we're going to give our thoughts on it afterwards. But this is Okay by Kirk Franklin.
Welcome to a world that is changing. Looking out the window got me wondering lately. Will we be okay? Will we be okay? Yes, sir. One day I can feel the sun shining. Next day a bullet can leave a mama crying. Will she be okay? Lord have mercy. Tell me, will we be okay? Truth is, I was taking everything that I had just to survive. Can I testify? I got $25 in my pocket, and I think another 10 in my glove compartment. I'm trying so bad not to cry, but it's hard to stop it. But you say, oh love, I need you, promise you got it. So I'm gonna be okay. Yes, sir. I'm gonna be okay. Sing. Okay, okay. See, I gotta remember that my God is bigger than any battle I'll ever face. So I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's dark right now, but I still see the light. Come on. Why do we hate one another? Yeah. When love is the most beautiful color, it takes away the pain. I hope somebody's listening. And makes everything okay. I know. There is the American dream. If only 1% knows what it means and you think another 10 in your glove compartment. But that family with no food would trade places with you. Give thanks and don't forget how you got it. And you gon' be okay.
Yeah. Can I get a witness?
You'll be okay.
Sing. Because I gotta remember, no matter what I go through, my God is bigger. Come on. If one door closes, God's got another.
You gon' be okay.
Your doctor's not the final answer, y'all. Hey,
You gon' be okay.
you needed the storm to wake you up and make you better.
Be okay.
Now sing.
So I'm gonna be okay.
Yes, sir.
This is Saved and Still Fly. We are back.
Don't act dignified now. They didn't heard you.
This is Alexandria Jae, your host of Saved and Still Fly. My guests, Andrew, Liv, and Jonathan, are still in the building. And we just had, I feel like this conversation got a little heated in here about this music situation.
Can we do callers? We can do callers. Let me see if I can call somebody. Let's keep talking. Oh, I can? Okay.
Who are you trying to call? Oh, we trying to have an impromptu. Who are you trying to call?
Let's see. Let me give you the number.
Well, look, we could keep talking for a second. Anyways, I'm going to have them back because there was something else that I wanted to discuss tonight about relationships. But this conversation about music seemed to be getting a little spicy. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who Andrew's calling. I have no idea. So I'm going to be surprised with y'all at the
If he
same
doesn't
time.
answer, then it is what it is. But we're going to see what's up.
This is going to be so interesting. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see who this is. But anyways, you guys can still keep chiming in. We were in here discussing the music thing and how, you know, secular artists collaborating with gospel artists.
Hey, Uncle Jonathan, it's Andrew. Can you hear me?
On the phone, guys.
This is actually the radio show. Me and Drea are live on the radio right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
We have a question for you. Hello?
Okay, I'm actually, yes, you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had to step out because I'm actually in concert. I had to step out for a second.
Oh, well, you know what? Go ahead. That's fine. We can talk to you later.
Yes, sir. I love you, nephew. I'm proud of you. I love you, Drea.
No problem. Love you too. We can talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
When I tell you
That's
he was
hilarious.
frazzled. He was frazzled.
So anyways, maybe we'll get a response from him a little later. But so we're talking about this music situation and gospel artists collaborating with secular artists. What is the problem with it? Is there a problem with it? We're kind of discussing, you know, the fact that we should be set apart. There should be a distinction between the two sounds. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything else to say. I think I'm over it because I think
There's
you
a
know.
sound.
There's a sound.
Okay.
There's definitely a sound.
I think me and Liv are kind of on the same page, and then the guys are on the same page with, you know.
But think about it. Don't get me wrong. This is like I bump this song in my car frequently. But today will be the best day of my life.
Right.
Does not reference God one time.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
But it's a slap. I mean, you can put it on, but when you think about it, you go, okay. If I told somebody listen to this song, it's gonna bless you. They're gonna go, oh, you want me to have a good day?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a set. I get it where you're saying, you know, there's a difference and another feel. So let's talk about this Kirk Franklin song because I didn't think that sounded churchy. We just heard "Okay" by Kirk Franklin. It's a new. I think he just released it yesterday from his "Long Live Love" album that is about to drop hopefully soon. But I don't think anything Kirk Franklin does is churchy, to be honest. But what you guys said, it sounded churchy. So what does that sound like?
What does church sound like?
Yeah, what does it sound like?
Liz?
Oh, no, y'all supposed to have the answer.
Me and Drea was on the same page.
Y'all supposed to have
tell
the
me what
answer.
church
Okay,
sound like.
church sounds. The sound of church is different. Let's just say that it's different from all. Other
We need a
Yeah,
description.
I need an answer.
Andrew.
I think church.
We won. We won.
No,
pretty
y'all
much.
didn't.
That's
Y'all
bottom
didn't
line.
win. I think church has a distinct sound. Definitely, I think church sounds unified. I think it's hard to describe, y'all, what church sounds like.
It's a different sound than everything.
You
else.
know it when you hear it.
Like okay.
You just know. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
It's
let me
hard.
give you an example. If a song came on and said God is a good God, yes, you'd be like, okay, that's church music. But if we played that, what's the Ty Trippett song? Dun,
Work it out.
dun, dun. If you
Right.
first hear that, if you would you automatically when you first hear it, just hear the beat, would you go, oh, that's a church song?
Mm.
Dun, dun,
No, but
hey, you gonna be like, oh, okay. Then you hear Jesus work it out, you like, oh, okay, my bad.
right, because you listen to the lyrics
Right.
and the message.
That's you hear the words, but the sound. You said sound.
Mm.
Oh
You
gosh.
see what I mean? The sound. You said it's the sound different.
You're getting too technical
I
for me.
guess.
Just
Right. I
saying.
mean,
I
like
just-
Too technical.
I think the point is there should be a distinction that you are glorifying God
Right.
Mhm.
with whatever the melody is. There should be a distinction that you are giving God the glory in your music.
True.
Period.
Facts.
There are songs like Jonathan said that sound churchy. For example, like that song, when you put that song on, it's like, okay, I feel like it's praise and worship. It's Sunday morning. So I get what you guys are
Yes, amen.
saying. I get it. But that song doesn't reference Jesus or God not one time.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, I guess the line is drawn. But I see what you guys are saying. I get it. All right. I understand. I think we can move on from the music situation here. So we have our own little
Praise God.
interpretations. But that was good. That was a good little discussion. For just a few more minutes, because we are wrapping up the show, I'm going to have you guys back, of course, really soon. But I did want to dive in a little bit into like the relationship scene and like healthy dating as a young Christian believer. And just you guys' thoughts on that. For me, it's always been a little taboo just because, the PK, and Jonathan is PK too. So maybe he can like chime in, and Andrea is too. And Olivia pretty much is a PK too. So we pretty much got
We
4
out here.
PKs in here.
We out here.
So I think it's different for us, especially just because we've seen a lot and we ain't gonna take everything. And then also but knowing how to date healthily, if that's a word, I think that's a word, and be young and saved. What does that look like? Like dating healthy. I was told, don't date nobody unless you plan on marrying them.
Right.
But then I've had a discussion with Andrew before where it's like, no, you can date to have fun because you're just getting to know people.
Right.
Which is true. You're getting to know somebody, but then also what should the end result be, obviously. So
Right.
what are you guys' like quick thoughts on that?
Liv, you go first.
I think that I can see both sides of that. I think that dating someone is intentional, and so if you're not being intentional with if you're just loosely out here dating anyone, is that like the type of relationship that you would want to like?
Right.
You know what I mean? You would want someone else to mimic.
Right.
So I feel like, yeah, like you should date to marry because that's the ultimate goal is to be married. However, I do understand that like there needs to be trial and error. I mean, luckily for some, you date the first person, you marry them, but that doesn't always work
amazing.
out.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Right, but like that doesn't always work out. So like that's just so tough because my whole thing is like if I'm dating you and I'm like I don't know if I'm going to marry you, should I be dating you then?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
So
Why waste your time?
Exactly. If I don't see a future with you, what I'm gonna do? Waste these next few years for what?
How are you gonna know if you see a future if you don't date them though? Like, what do you call, like?
Well, now they say talking for dating.
Right, that little middle ground.
But I don't even believe in that either, though. Like, I don't mind saying I'm going on a date with someone.
Right.
Like, we don't have to be dating for me to go on a date with you.
Right.
You get what I'm
So,
saying?
but if I go on a date with you and we're not dating, then we're in the talking phase.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we're not.
necessarily.
Just because we go on one date does not mean we're talking.
We here the whole night.
I'm with you.
Where are you?
That means the
Because-
conversation has
So
started.
you go on one date with somebody, you're officially talking?
Before you get to that date,
Right.
there's conversations that are
Right.
being had.
Right.
Whether it's in the DMs, whether it's in the text messages, whether it's on the phone.
On the local Snapchat.
Listen,
There's
that
some
doesn't
type of
mean you're
conversation.
talking, though.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
It doesn't.
Right.
That means you're getting to know someone.
He's saying
That's
it-
natural.
He's saying it from
even
a
with a
sense-
friend.
Okay. I think I. Get
I
what you're
haven't
saying.
even given. I'm sorry. I haven't even given myself the time to compartmentalize how I'm really gonna feel about you yet. So if we go on one date, We're officially, and see, this is the issue with talking now. Like, we have to define that too.
Right.
Yeah,
We do.
That is rough.
We do.
Like, because that has so many definitions. Because, like, to me, when you say talking, that means it's exclusive.
Right.
Like, there's nobody else
Yeah.
outside of this person.
Yeah.
And that,
That's a good
and
point.
saying that makes it tricky because then it's like, then we dating.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
If it's exclusive, then we're dating.
Good
So
point.
it's like,
Because you can still get mad if you see him with somebody else. You're like, what? What are
Exactly.
you doing? Like,
Right.
well, we're not
Exactly.
dating. Like, oh, we're talking.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many lines with
There
this.
is.
That's why I have to bring them back, you guys, so we can really talk about this relationship thing like in depth. Because there's so many things that I want to ask them. I want to ask them about, you know, if it's okay for ladies to pursue the man, like just all of that. We need to get it. Jonathan's face, y'all should see. Just all of that we need to get into. So I'm gonna have them back. Hopefully next week. We'll try and see if we can work that out and get some stuff going so we can keep this conversation going. But thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. We will be back next week for
We need to
more of
finish that
Saved and Still
conversation.
Fly. Yeah, we have to finish this conversation. So
Yeah.
hopefully, let me see if I can get a confirmation on air. Olivia, you down next week?
I'm back, period.
She's back. Jonathan, you down next week?
I'm here.
He's back. So
Let's
we're
go.
doing this again next week. Make sure that you're here, 6 o'clock. We're going to continue this conversation, and it's going to be great. So I'm so happy Andrew, Liv, and Jonathan were here tonight. You will see more of them next week. But until then, closing us out is All I Need Is You by Lecrae. And this is your girl, Alexandria Jae. Liv, Andrew, and Jonathan signing off. Much love.
To keep me in my time zone when my mind's gone and I'm flying home and I'm stressed out and I'm tempted to get that styrofoam and go pull it up, but you know what's up and you know that ain't gonna solve nothing. I mean, Lord forbid I might fall or something and I'm all another cause to hold me down like bitch straps at a sight ward. It's killing me, but you still with me when I fight hard and you digging me when I'm egging you. Deal with me when my car's pulled. Could've dealt with me, but you fell for me before I fell for you. Keep me on that right path and the right math. Is you plus nothing's everything. You my everything. Saying you ain't gotta question my allegiance, cause the way you love me, I could never leave you. I need you.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win, don't know how, all I know. You, all I ever needed, you're all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed, you're all I ever needed.
How did I fall in this? No condition that get a mention, but you offer this unconditional love. I swear I sell it all for this. Trying to keep it together, forget my awkwardness. But often it's just you and me off in this. Valley of shadows, and I know they trying to pick me off in this, but all I need is you. It's funny just how off I get when I ain't riding with you. No adjectives for your awesomeness. They burning one for that burnout. This life done got them all turned out. Took time out to put time in, so I turn to you when I want out. Need is you. You slow me down cause you know me now, but my phone is smiling. I'm acting like it's all copacetic. It's so pathetic, so juvenile. Know what you do? You keep me cool in the summer when they be dressing less and I be wanting to show off and stunt. But there ain't nothing to want. You give me all that I need. All I need is you to keep that fire burning for me. All I need is you.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win, don't know how, all I know. You, all I ever needed, you're all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed, you're all I ever needed.
Ain't nobody gon' get in the way. Put that on my money in the bank. Cause you do what the mothers can't. And I love that, yeah. We gon' ride till the wheels fall off. Above it all, we can never fall, yeah. Hold my hand, we can have it all. Hold my hand, we can have it all.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win.
after the first date, y'all are dating.
No.
we're
No.
Tria, where'd you
Definitely
get
not.
that, sis?
Definitely not. That's out. That's out.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I almost no, let me tell you why I hit her head. Let me tell you why. Because I almost fell out.
Always doing extra.
I
I
say
almost
this.
fell, and I thought
I say after the first date, you make the
That's a good
decision
question,
whether
Sister
we're
Vanessa.
gonna
I'll ask
keep
it in a
going
second.
on or we're gonna stop, or this is.
Wait, one more time. You said.
Okay, so after the first date, you're making the decision like, okay, I still want to talk to this person in that sense, or yeah, we're probably not gonna go farther than this.
Right, and that's why it's just talking. Because when it's just talking, it's not that big. Like, it is a big deal, but it's not like the matter of life and death. When you're like, I don't want to
Okay,
talk to you no
so
more.
Now, so let me say this now.
Sister
So,
Vanessa, we're about to answer
so
your
now
question.
there's levels to talking now, right?
Yes.
Because what? Because before, you
No,
just said,
and
you
that's what
said-
Candu
you
said.
just said
That's
talk-
what
you just said
Candu said.
talking is I'm only talking to you, and I'm not talking to nobody else. And then you said, well, talking is not that big of a deal.
Okay. I feel attacked.
saying.
I feel attacked. I feel attacked.
I'm
Yes,
just
I
saying.
feel attacked.
I'm just saying.
Attack me, Jonathan. Go harder. Go harder next time. Go harder next
I'm
time.
just saying.
Is there not levels to this stuff?
There's definitely levels, but
Then why are you acting like there's not,
I'm
Jonathan?
just-
No,
I'm just going
there's
by what
not
you
levels to
said.
talking. There's level from talking to dating.
And then dating to courting, I feel like that's different too.
Right, because courting is
Yeah.
you about.
We're finna put
She's
a ring
bigger.
on this thing.
Right.
Okay.
Period. That's about mine.
Okay, an evangelist at my church said, young men, Jonathan, you got this first. Young men, do you know what it is you're looking for in a woman? Describe.
And
Oh, wow.
Do you want to? Let me ask. Side note to that question. Do you? And I know
Yeah.
you, but do you think that young Christian men in ministry want church girls?
I think that's
Whoa,
the preference.
that's a whole nother question.
I'll answer
Okay,
that
that's
because
a good
I'll
question.
answer that because I had the smallest mind when I was younger. I did. I wanted a church girl that I knew was gonna be there with me everywhere I went. Here, there, everywhere. But you quickly realize as you grow and mature that churchiness in a girl does not matter
Right.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. It should be the least of your worries how churchy she is, quote unquote. If she's there for you,
Right.
and she challenges you, whether she claps on the 1 and the 3 or the 2 and the 4, it shouldn't matter. She could clap
Wait,
like
I have
this.
a quick
and I
question.
not care.
When we say churchy, are we saying like
Church
she's
going.
gonna go with me to every event, or are we saying churchy as in relation? Because relationship and church is two different things.
So I can say-
Religion and
I
relationship
can
are
say
different.
something
I think
that, 'cause
in-
you actually went where I was about to say. Like, let's say, because it's two different things. So when you're thinking about a relationship with somebody while you're in ministry, the first thing you're like, do I have somebody that can spiritually be in a help me with that? But also, now that you're in ministry, now you're like, does people coming to you because you're in ministry now? So now you're like, I really don't want nobody all in my face. I want somebody that when I'm done behind the pulpit and I meet, can you be there?
Right.
Can you handle the side that's just not always in the mic?
Exactly.
Right.
So then,
And I
then
was
you go, yeah,
I was just telling somebody that, man. I had a lot of people in the process of ministry and of my evolution or whatever, which I'm still going through.
Right.
But they liked the idea
Yep.
of being with me.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
They
yeah,
liked in
exactly.
their
Yeah,
mind, oh, if
exactly.
I'm with him, this is what it'll be like.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Until
exactly.
you get to know me and you're like, oh, you're a lot to deal with. Oh,
Right.
you have mood swings.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you're this way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not anointed like all
I'm
the
no,
time.
I'm not anointed
Right.
when I'm not
And people don't
when I'm at
understand
home
that.
on
Right.
FaceTime.
Right.
The anointing
And that's
is
why,
not on me at that
and
point.
that's why people say anointing is attractive.
It is.
Because when people see
Anointing
that,
is
it's like,
very
because
attractive.
you can see someone that really ain't all that, but you see them up there going in.
Laying hands.
Look,
and
Shonda, who
worship.
is that?
That's
And
why
who
I
are
don't
you?
understand why everybody
But like
want
when they
preachers.
step down, it's not the same.
I don't get why everybody want preachers.
Man,
Right.
I
They are the
was
hardest people to be with,
To do with.
hands down.
man,
Right.
I was, and this had recently turned me off to somebody that I was interested in at one point. It's like everywhere we went, let's take a picture, put this on Instagram, put this on Snapchat. Why? Not that I'm embarrassed or ashamed, but everything is not a photo op.
Yeah.
Everything is not, I mean, sure, we can take it, but you ain't got to post it. Keep it for
Right.
you.
Right.
You know, I mean, it ain't got to be nothing that we put out
Yeah.
all the time, you know. But I guess to answer her question, what do we want in a woman? I personally, because of that, I want a woman that's going to challenge me. I shouldn't be comfortable with where I am while with you.
Mhm.
I should be so focused on bettering myself
Yeah.
for the betterment of me and you.
Yeah.
Us really is what it comes down to. That I'm pushing even harder. I'm pressing even harder. I'm studying even more. I'm praying even more
Mhm.
because my love for you is so strong that I know without God, this can't even work.
Yep.
Period.
Mhm.
So, I look for a woman, I guess you could say I don't want a trophy. Someone that I can just carry around on my arm.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my girlfriend. Oh, she's beautiful. Where did you find her? Great, but if she's an airhead,
Yeah.
and has no substance,
Mhm.
that's not enough. So I
Right.
desire a woman that's going to challenge me. I desire a woman that is a go-getter for herself, that, doesn't mind, helping in business endeavors or anything of that nature. I desire that kind of woman that's not just going to be, just, hey, Jonathan, what do you need?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to do what you want to do.
yeah, whatever you want to do. Where we going to
Right.
dinner? I don't care.
Don't
Where
nobody
you
need
wanna
no
go.
yes man.
Whatever you want to do.
You want to
You
go
don't
bungee
need no
jumping
yes
with no
man.
parachute? Sure.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Right.
no, like, come on. Like, there has to be.
Let's go see a movie. I don't want to see a movie.
Right.
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 What you want to go do?
Right.
Be adventurous.
Right.
Okay, now I have to think outside of the box. Let's go
Right.
jet skiing. Like,
Right.
there we
Right.
go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and for me, man.
All right,
like,
jet ski.
I'm,
Right.
I'm, and I learned. I don't know if I want to go here. Y'all might make fun of me, but whatever. I've learned that I'm an introverted extrovert, which is really called an ambivert, which is basically I love people, but I can only take so much of y'all.
Yep.
That's me.
I need to recharge.
Like I love
Same.
being around
Yeah.
y'all, but after 2 hours and 32 seconds, I gotta go.
I will shut down.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yep.
And there's gonna come a moment in time where whoever I'm with, look, it's me and you tonight. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're in this house and we're enjoying each other's company.
Right.
If the phone rings, decline the call. Like that's just me, at
Right.
times. So I need somebody that's okay with one day I want to go to Six Flags and the next day I want to make a fire in the backyard. Just because we went out yesterday don't mean it got to be all weekend.
Yeah.
It's it's just me.
That's
That's
gotta
me
be.
though.
You gotta be comfortable of joining each other. Like
Yep.
if we don't do nothing but go out,
You know what I mean? Skydiving, same
make
thing.
sandwiches, and come back and watch a movie, we still gonna have the same good time as we did
Yes.
if we
Yeah.
went out because it's great to go out, but I'm enjoying more of you than what
Right.
we're doing. That means I can enjoy you anywhere.
Right.
And
Right.
whatever we do, I'm still because I'm with you. I'm having a good time.
Right. Mhm.
Y'all hear this?
We leaking too much for next week. Too
I
much.
know.
I mean,
Listen.
but I feel like it'll even stem deeper.
Yeah,
next
it
week.
will.
But I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I think the topic that you had was, has the church taught us how to date? No.
Absolutely
If
not.
anything, they've scared us.
Yeah.
Yes.
From
exactly.
dating. They
Exactly.
haven't. They've made dating a sin almost.
Yes.
And specifically, I think the main reason why a lot of young men and women don't find their spouses in the church anymore is because we were told not to look in the church.
You were told that?
A lot of times, leave these young men and women alone.
Well,
They're a woman of God. That's a woman of God. That's a man of God. Leave her alone.
No, look, I'm looking for my man of God. I'm not gonna leave him alone. What are you
Of course,
talking
we don't
about?
have to be involved, in that way.
Yeah.
But what's wrong, if Mother So-and-so walked around the corner and saw me having a conversation with her, it'd be like, what's going on? What y'all doing?
Yeah.
This is my friend.
Right.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't talk. It was
Yeah.
always, leave the men of God alone.
Yeah.
Leave
Ooh,
women
that
God
is
alone.
so
Leave them
true.
girls
So,
alone.
okay,
Yeah.
so now I'm going to the club to find a hoochie mama with a miniskirt on.
And you bring her
That's
in, now
going
they
to
like,
give me something else.
Then they gonna go. You should
And
have
then
you
I'm
a
going to bring
safe
her
house
in here and you're going to be mad.
Right, right.
Exactly.
And you can't win
Yeah.
for losing.
Right. Because like you said,
At that
you're going to
point.
get her and they're going to be like, no, you should
That
have
ain't
got
the
you an
one.
evangelist.
There
Right.
were so many saved women in here that you could have had. And
Right.
you decided to go.
So
Right.
many.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So many.
But look, when I was talking to her, you said leave her alone.
Right.
Like,
God.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that.
I mean, but I guess because the only thing of dating that I heard in the church is the singles ministry, and I don't really see that no more neither.
Right.
But even then, the singles ministry was messed up because we weren't teaching you how to date in the singles ministry. We were teaching you how to be a better single person.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
I'm teaching you how to effectively manage your loneliness.
Well,
That's what singles ministries.
That
That's
is
what
super
singles
true.
ministries have
Wow.
become.
That is so true.
Single ministries need to be grooming you and preparing you for your wife or for your husband. Instead, I'm teaching you how to go pray in tongues when your hormones kick in.
Right.
Come on, Andrew.
That's
All right,
not
Andrew.
it.
That's not
It's
it.
true though.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Go sit on your hands. Like,
Harp and bow, harp and bow, harp and No, I need a wife. Period. And I'm not gonna die.
Oh, you hit us with a period. Hold on.
I'm not-
You got serious.
Period.
You got Sean down.
I'm not
Period.
dying without one.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, we've crippled our singles ministries. You can be sad. You can be single and I'm not no knock to the show. You can be single and sad, single and fly, and
holy.
and holy and
No
holy
knock to the
without a
show.
man, and holy without it. Okay, but I can be happy with one too.
Right.
And be fruitful and multiply and have children and create a legacy and grow a business.
But one thing y'all said too, because most of everybody here is PKs, even dating as a PK, because
now that's the line.
That's rough.
Everything is like, okay, because now it's like I've had people growing up as a PK like, hey, I like you, but I don't want that smoke.
Right. I don't want that smoke.
Everybody's gonna be like, oh.
Right.
And this is why I told you, like, for a while I was like, you know what, I'm done because I went to dinner with homeboy, right? Went to
And the
dinner,
world knew.
and the whole world found out because Bam Bam was at the same restaurant. So and he told Bam Bam told everybody, and so now I got my girls coming up to me like, hey, how was so and so? And I'm like, girl, I don't know. Like,
But you see that goes back to our point. Just because you went out with him doesn't mean he's your man.
No, not at all. I didn't say that.
That's not what y'all said.
No.
That's what I said. I'm not going out with you if you're not my man. Period.
I'm just
That's
saying.
my slide.
Because what
we
happens
going out
is
for?
what happens is now, and this is a hypothetical name, so y'all don't get no ideas. What happens now is if me and Lisa go out, right, to Seasons 52 downtown. And I'm just
he got a large.
If me and Lisa go to Cold Stone, since y'all want to be petty, if me and Lisa go to Cold Stone and Deacon Johnson is in line,
I don't feel included into this conversation.
If me and Lisa go to Cold Stone and Deacon Johnson is in line, now Deacon Johnson is telling Bishop Michaela's calling Bishop Brooks, and now but if it's established in the beginning, hey, this is my friend. This is we're out. It's hot. It's a hot day. It's the middle of July. I didn't want to be in my house with no AC. Right. I wanted some ice cream. So I called old girl. We got some ice cream. What's wrong with that? And I think I'm serious. And I think that's why you got a lot of that back in the day, because automatically in everybody's mind, oh, they went out. They must be together. When that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But where men mess up, and this is where we don't get a pass, is where we don't make that clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you end up toiling with the woman's heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
While not telling her, hey, I don't want this.
Right.
But in her mind, she's like, oh, that's my man.
Right.
Yeah. But you're like, oh, this is just my friend. So now you play with her heart.
No,
and then you tell her the truth, and she's hurt.
Right.
Yeah. Now you got a bad rep.
No,
right.
Because I think the biggest thing is being straight up from up front.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, if you don't want to date, hey, I like you, but I really ain't trying to get in a relationship right now.
And that's gonna be like, cool.
I'm glad.
Right.
But you've given them that chance to go, instead of going, oh, now my heart is fell for you. You're like, oh, I ain't trying to date. And
Right.
Like, what?
Right. It's like, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
You need to let that be known, because I don't have time for, oh, we talking and you want to go out, and when you hit me up, I'm just supposed to jump up and go, but then you're not looking. So what you looking for?
Right.
Like, you don't need me as a friend then. Like, go find some other friend.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you be friends with the same sex then? Why are you trying to be my friend? I don't know. That's just me on that. But I'll be out here.
Because when you think, all right, so I'm going back to the talking thing.
Oh my God.
We have to.
Because look, if we're talking and you go, yo, who you talking to? And you have a right to be like.
Do you have a right to know?
Do you have a right to?
Absolutely.
If I go to the bathroom and leave my phone like this, is that a problem? Quiet.
Look, and I'll straight flip that mug right over. I do not care. If I want to know, I will flip it over.
So let's say first date, y'all went out. First date, y'all went out or whatever. And he like this. You're like, who was that? Like, oh, nobody.
Oh no, that's the problem.
No. Don't
that's
tell
the problem.
me. This is the thing. Don't tell me nobody when you're texting somebody, because now you lying. Now you lying.
That was funny.
What do you mean nobody?
Okay, all right. I'll play devil's advocate.
Because I feel
be
like
I'm not about to play with you,
I'll play
Jonathan.
devil's
to
advocate.
bring it back, just to bring it back to like the integrity thing, and we're talking about we're Christians and all this stuff, and bring it back to integrity. You should be able to tell me like, oh, it's homegirl.
Right.
No.
This Lisa. What about Lisa? Tell me about Lisa. What's that? What's up with Lisa?
And then that would give me enough opportunity to be like, okay, I respect you for telling me.
Don't act like that's gonna be your response.
That's not gonna be my response. But
that.
now you told me, so I'm accountable for knowing he hanging out with homegirl Lisa. That's not gonna be my response. But now I'm responsible for knowing that information.
Well, guys are dumb enough to do that. Yeah, I was gonna say any guy shouldn't be dumb enough to wait till he gets caught. But no, I don't know. Yeah, see, for me, I'm straight up. Yeah, I'll tell you going into it. Look, I'm attracted to you, but I'm interested in someone else. No.
Let me clear the lie. Let me clear the lie. No, what I say, no.
But I'm with somebody else.
No, not necessarily. Let me clear it. Let me clear it up. When I say that, I mean, okay, like for instance, when you're do y'all believe that you can be interested in more than one person? Do y'all believe that?
Yes. Should you be pursuing more than one person? Absolutely not.
Right, and that's what I mean. That you can be interested in more than one person.
Right, but if you're talking to somebody else, why are you telling me you're interested in me?
No, you shouldn't be talking to someone else and interested in someone else. I'm talking about when you're just interested in more than one person.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Not when so for example, I can't be talking to her and still be not when I say talking, I can't be pursuing her and still be having flirtatious conversation with somebody else on the side.
Right.
I'm talking about the beginning when you single, you ain't got nothing going on and you're just interested. Period. That's what I mean. And if that is the case and you're talking to someone and she asks you, what are your plans? What is your such and such? You should be able to tell her, like, look, I'm a single man right now. I'm not looking for a full-on relationship. I'm exploring my options. Whatever the case may be. I just got out of a relationship. I don't want to dive into something right away, but I do find you attractive, and I would like to see where this goes.
How do y'all feel about relationships?
That's what I mean. So please do not think that I'm out here.
How do y'all feel about relationships in the younger generation? Is it something that's taken as lightly? Is it real, or is it something that's just like?
I'm wishing I was born 10 years earlier so bad. Yeah. Because people out here I don't understand when people just date multiple people. Yeah, no. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense, because you just out here just wasting time. And I feel like if you have somebody in a spot where the right one can't come in if the wrong one is in the spot. Right. So it's like, why are you just out here dating everyone? Like, that is unacceptable, and it for sure is taken lightly. And I think, like, I'm not gonna say like for men and for women, but I feel like sometimes for men it is like taken a lot more lightly than it is for women, just because when we out here heartbroken, that's why our songs hit different. Okay? Because like we're so much more
act
invested.
like y'all don't break hearts though. Don't do that. Because women do break hearts.
Oh my gosh.
Women break hearts.
They do.
Don't do that. You don't think a woman can break a man's heart?
So next week,
Wow.
y'all come back next week.
No.
Y'all come back next week.
Do y'all? No, I want to see what they have to say. Do you guys think a woman can break a man's heart?
Absolutely.
So
love is love.
Okay, so why y'all looking at me like that?
I think this is what I think. When y'all break hearts,
talk about it.
Mom, always be honest. Yes, that's what I was saying, Mom. Being honest, straight. That's what
Let
I
them
mean.
know, Sister
Thank you,
Brooke.
Mom.
Be
for having
honest.
my back. Thank you, because they was trying to come for me.
No, you wasn't trying to be honest.
So when y'all break hearts, right? Y'all do it so ruthlessly to the point where it's
like wow, all that.
Yeah, and it goes back to the honesty thing, because most of the time when it's done, it's like because you guys weren't honest from the beginning.
No.
Right.
I mean, yes. Okay, let me let you finish, because I have something to say to it.
So, when that happens, I feel like it just hits on a whole nother level. If women ever break a heart?
If, when,
I feel
I
like
hate this
act like y'all
passive
not
aggressive
cutthroat.
tone.
I
hate
feel
it.
like-
Oh,
Talk about it,
Liz,
sis.
You gonna act like y'all not cutthroat?
No, I'm because I know I am. So I'm gonna be honest. I believe that women can break hearts. However, I want to hear what the rest of you have to say, though.
I feel Candy said stop now. I feel like we are more privy to your emotions and we care more about like how you're gonna feel. I don't think you guys think about that.
I don't think so.
I think you guys think about the fact that I'm about to be free.
And I think a lot of
That
times,
is definitely my
a-
first. That's what I'm
and a lot of times,
free at last. I'm
if
playing Negro spiritual.
That's what I'm
I am
saying.
no,
done.
a lot of times, if a woman has broke your heart, to be honest, you've probably broken hers before she broke yours.
And that's what I was gonna say, because here's the thing: the reason why, but that's what makes it worse. Because the reason makes it worse is because when a woman, at least for me, just studying women, when a woman cheats or breaks up with you, she was mentally gone 3 months before she even did that. Definitely. Emotionally, mentally, headspace, she was through. She was already gone. My thing is, you knew 3 months ago.
But that's the thing about women. We're not impulse. I'm not just about to, I don't feel this way anymore today, so boom, we're done. It doesn't work like
Why
that.
not talk about it? It ain't got to be the first day, but tell me you're unhappy.
Because why not talk about it? Because I believe in talking about it, but what if I'm just having a bad day? What, you know what I'm saying?
No. Tell
like,
me
what
you're
if
having
it
a
was
bad
just,
day.
Okay.
What if it's,
I see that. I see that.
What if it's a prolonged thing and you go, I have not been happy in months, and I go, why did you not tell me?
I do not know.
That's what makes it worse.
See, okay.
I do. I feel like really
That's
attacked.
what makes it worse.
Really.
That's what makes it worse, man. Because men, and this is not all men, but men like me who pay attention to every little thing, I know, I can tell, number one, when you're having a bad day. Number two, things start changing. You a little shorter. Like you a night owl, all of a sudden you want to sleep at 10. Like something is off. And then I ask you and you say it's nothing. But 3 months later, I'm single. I tried to fix this.
I get that.
Now I'm broke. Now I'm hurt. That's to me what makes it worse for women.
Yeah, I feel that. I see
At
that.
least for those, like you guys were saying, who don't talk about it. Like, tell me.
Right.
Straight up.
When I
and
ask,
that's the thing
say
with
something.
men. Like, we'll tell you, I'm not happy.
Will you?
I will. It may not be like Drea said. We may not care how it makes you feel.
But they're gonna say it.
But we'll say it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Not that it's okay. That's the general consensus of men. I always take the other person's feelings into consideration.
It's like I gotta get this off. I gotta say this now.
I have to tell you, I'm not happy.
What do we do?
What can we do to fix this? And the wrong man might say there's nothing you really can do. I'm just not happy. And
But that can be a sincere answer.
it could.
Like, you may just not be happy, and sometimes you want it to work out with people, but it don't. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? Force it so I'm giving you 50% of me?
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Not at all.
So I have a couple more questions just about this. The first one was, I should have wrote them down. The first one, one of them that I was thinking about was, do you guys think that there's a time frame on dating, or do you just when you know, you know?
Time frame on
As far
dating
as,
to
like,
be married?
To be married.
I think that you should not be dating for years and years and years. You should not be dating for 8, 9, 10 years. We've been together for this long. Hello.
Yeah.
This is good. Sister Vanessa said young women should learn how to date in order to not place so much pressure on the one guy that they went out with and learn to be patient and particular. Yes, girls break hearts as well.
Yeah. I agree.
That's good. And what I got from it, and you can kind of tell me if I'm wrong, but what I got from that is every guy ain't your potential husband.
Yeah. That's good. That's
And
a good
be able
takeaway.
to compartmentalize. To me, that's why you date. we're going out to get coffee. I'm asking you what your goals in life are. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
We're not together.
I don't know about you.
We're not talking either.
I don't know about you.
We're not. I don't know you yet. They say even in marriage it takes 5 years to know a person.
Yeah, I completely believe
So how am I talking to you after one date? So lost. No.
I understand the talking thing.
And every girl is not your potential wife. Period.
And
That's very true. That's very true. But there comes a point in time where you also. But that's very true. But that's why dating is important. And Mom told me this too. That's why dating is important, so you can know what you don't want.
Well, with me, if we're not dating, there's no life even in the midst of my thinking.
Oh no,
at all.
Not at all.
Like if it's not like we're dating, there's no talking. She might be the one. No.
No.
That is not.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Agreed.
So
He might be the one. What? Hot. Bye. Nah. Yeah, I agree.
What was your second question? And every girl's not. Yes, that's true, Mom. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think the second question was just because Sister Vanessa I think also mentioned prayer. So what? I guess it's not really a question. That's just a comment. I think we should bring prayer back into our dating relationships with the person that you are potentially.
Oh yeah, no question.
Like I feel like right now where I am in my life, the person that I'm dating, talking to, whatever, it's gonna be like, yo, we need to pray about this because if God is not endorsing this, then it's a wrap.
I agree. And see, and that's what I was telling you this morning. Because there may be some women or some people that your flesh desires. Yeah. And that in the natural it makes sense. But spiritually, if you're connected, you know this ain't it. This ain't it. And that's where you have to have the courage to say, I want you, but I can't be with you. Yeah. Because it'll end up one of three ways. You hurt, I'm hurt, or just in destruction just blows up in both of our faces.
Right.
But that's why I think that prayer and you asking God, like, is this the person that I'm actually supposed to?
Right.
Is this worth continuing to, spend my time on? That happens during the talking phase. That's
That happens during the dating phase.
Wait, I'm praying for you while we talking. Not well. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you while we talking. But like praying with you that's so intimate.
Oh no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm praying
on the subject.
asking God.
Oh,
your own private time.
110%.
Am I wasting my
As
time?
soon as you DM me.
Right.
Hello, God.
Discernment to kick in immediately.
Question for everybody, and even the boss in the room. I want you to chime in on this one.
Oh, hold on,
Because you
boss.
are married. The Bible says, "He that findeth a wife," right?
Right.
Meaning you got to be
That-
a wife before you get found.
I don't want to go into that because that goes into the question you were gonna ask for like next week if women should pursue men.
Heck no.
Absolutely not.
I'm turned off if you pursue me.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm turned off. No, I'm turned off.
Right. Because
Reach out and pursuit are different.
that's what I'm saying.
But reaching out can look like pursuing.
Sometimes people can mistake that, like, oh, she pursued that person.
Right.
But there's sometimes that pursuit is taking place where it says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. She might have seen the person that she wanted. She has not said anything to that person, but she might be available at you preaching this week, I'm there. You doing the show, I'm online. So you consistently see that person. And so you don't realize that she's
shooting her shot.
Right.
But she's not approaching you, but she's available.
I can respect that though.
Right. That's cool.
Because we're not dumb. If I see you everywhere I go, and you speak to me, whatever, I'm not dumb. I can tell.
But then people always say like men don't always pick up on everything or
Men
like
don't.
say or like if you feel in some type of way say something.
So do you have a problem with a girl coming going, hey, I like you?
Ooh.
I'd be weirded out.
It would be
That's bold.
very bold.
Yeah.
I'd be weirded out. I have.
The question would be why. If somebody met you and they said, you know what, I like you. Not I want to marry you or anything else that meant you, but I like you. You know what I'm saying? Why would that weird you out?
Maybe just because I've usually always been the one
to say it first.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's unorthodox, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's unorthodox because it's not something that we're used to. But if there's a female, and this is something Kiana was talking about the last time she was on the show, she DM'd her husband, or she DM'd like to start the conversation. She was the one, hey, yo, I'm interested. Let's see where this goes. And now they're married.
said Jobs interview multiple people to find the right. That's very true, though. That's very true.
It's true.
My question was gonna be, and we can get back to that. My question was gonna be: the Bible says, "He that findeth." Do you believe that God predestines our spouses?
Oh my God, that's
no.
deep.
It's not. But think about it, because the Scripture says otherwise.
I don't.
He that findeth, which means God has given us the authority to choose.
A wife, right? Not the wife.
Okay. So our spouse is not already
There could be multiple
out
people
there
that are
predestined.
right
Like God
There has
says,
to be
this is the
multiple
one
people.
for
There's
you. Y'all don't
too
think
many
that
people in
there's
this world for
one
one.
specific person out
Not
there
at
for
all.
every person?
No.
Absolutely not.
One of the things I think
Interesting.
that we have to do as young people is to realize that when you think you met the person that you want to be with and you pray about everything like that, really seek true counsel. You know, not just because the person is apostolic or church of God in Christ or whatever, not because they fit the mold that should fit
Right.
perfect preacher's wife or whatever.
Right.
Because there's still reality life things that you all will have to do.
And that was my
Right.
problem when I was younger. I was looking for the mold.
Right.
And that's the thing. I think that we all are, because I started
You were
preaching
too.
when I was 19. You know,
I was 17.
All right,
16.
preacher man.
I was 16 when I started
I
preaching.
grew up in the Church of God in Christ, and I was married by the time I was 23 years. You know, I was ordained like 23. And so it was the next step. It looked like it was perfect, but the bottom line is that, you know, sometimes you make moves based on church standards, and then when you even know that it's wrong, now your pride comes in. You don't want to break up because
Right, and
What the
that's
church
my
thinks.
fear.
Yeah.
That's my fear. I don't want to get so deep into it, and then I realize you're not the one.
I think that's.
And I
everyone.
guess that's a bad wall that I have to take down, because now it's created that vow that I told you guys that I asked the Lord for. The next person I get into this with has to be my wife, and that's only because of my fear to get so deep into it that I wake up one day and realize, dang, I made a mistake. I'm scared of that. I don't want to get to that point.
I have a question.
I was going to say the reality you have is that as a public official or public figure, it is hard to date
Privately.
publicly
Oh.
because everybody sees it that this is permanent.
Right,
And,
right.
and things don't work
That's why I
out.
won't nobody
Right.
know.
That's why I don't even tell people until I know.
But see. I believe that your relationship should be private, but not a secret.
Oh, absolutely.
Because keeping me as a secret, bye. But also, okay, so this is my question. So I was talking to my friend JL about this. Y'all know JL. Why am I saying my friend?
Right, like we
JL.
don't know her.
And I'm like, so like I'm pursuing this youth pastor thing, right? I ain't married. So look, I gotta be married, all right? But like, it's so difficult. I feel like I've never seen someone in ministry that wasn't already married. So I'm like, that's difficult for me because like, what if you date someone, like you're in this for like a few years, like you think you're gonna marry them, right? It doesn't work out. Like that's just, for me, that's weird. And like, it's weird because I've never seen that before.
So
I've
you
never
don't know,
seen someone in
because
ministry
So you don't know how to date while being in the public eye. That's basically what you're saying.
I'm asking, how do you do that?
I don't think there's a formula.
Yeah, there's not. It's just when it does happen, because you're gonna date.
Right.
Okay, so let's say now you go, okay, this is my boyfriend now. Now all of a sudden they start seeing them more and more. Now they're at the services and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, who is that?
Right, right.
So once you're at that moment when like you're dating and it's out there, there's nothing that you can do about that.
Right.
After that point, because I know like he said, me, I've been ordained and dated. Now everybody's like, oh, so are you getting married?
Right.
Oh, so what happened? You like,
Because now
We just
everybody's
started dating.
expecting you to be married.
Yeah.
And that's because they think that everybody that gets ordained is ready to pastor.
yeah,
And there's no honor given to people that love to assist.
exactly. Yeah.
Things of that nature that might not want to be
Hey, nephew.
first, you know, and so we're going to go out as friends, and if we go out as friends, we're not going to do a one-on-one date. We're going to go out as friends with other people, and we're going to get to know each other through these social atmospheres. Once you all move it from let's do something individual, now you're establishing a different relationship, and then you all have to have these real life conversations. Because, say for instance, if I'm a minister and everything like that, and you turning up in the club, I already know that ain't gonna work.
Right.
Because, you know,
They're double-minded.
So you have to, but you also have to really protect the integrity of your ministry as you move forth. Because if they keep seeing you with this one and this one and this one, especially for men, pastors gonna say they fleecing the flock. People gonna say that. So, and it's like being a superstar. When you're in ministry, it's like being a superstar. So what is the responsibility? One is to be open and direct, saying, look, you know, I remember saying that, telling someone, I was looking for a wife, and I would not go to anything exclusive with anybody until that person met what I was looking for. But I prayed and asked God, so I had a list of 25 questions. You know what I'm saying? So that if they couldn't get through those 25 questions, we could be friends.
Drop the list.
That's what Kendu said. He said, write down what you want in a person, go on dates to see if they check the boxes. After a few dates, you should be able to discern
That's
whether
true.
or not they're on or off the squad.
That's true. And Kendu also said something good. He said, dang, I missed it. But I think he basically said, he was being funny, but he was also being serious. He said we need to go on a fast and really pray, because he said through conversation, it sounds like we're guiding our own steps.
Oh, that was Sister Vanessa. But
And he thinks, and she agreed, and she said prayer brings a sense of intimacy. So she would suggest praying individually, like Olivia said, and she believes women should not pursue men or be overly available. Men are natural hunters.
when they know what they want.
Yeah.
Milton, that's why it's important to pray and not rush a relationship. Be observant, take your time. So
I really like what he said, because that's true.
I can do.
Being in the ministry and being in that public eye. Like, I've literally had people come to me like, hey, I like you, but dude, everybody knows you. Like,
I had someone tell me that too.
Everybody knows. They're like, yo, your dad a bishop. You're joking. Like, so there's no, like, it's gonna be known, it's gonna be that. I'm like, yeah. So it is, because you still do, like you say, you have to have the integral part of your ministry. Meaning, because now the person you with now holds a responsibility. Meaning, I could be in my closet for hours, but if you go do this, they gonna go right back to me, because I'm the one in ministry. So now they look at you like, yo, what's up? You like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then, like, you have to know, like, dating in ministry, that now there's a responsibility. That's the question. How do you date?
Yeah.
And be in ministry? Because now you're going, okay, I want to get to know you, but I still have to make sure me dating that I don't mess up them.
yeah, I think that's where that statement Olivia made, private but not a secret, comes in. I don't want to say too much. It might have to be a secret.
Well, it doesn't have to be a secret. I think that.
Not between us.
Yeah, but also it's like, who is important in your life? You know, as men and women of God, we need the family. That's just as we need them, not because it's like we're establishing. You're establishing, one, if you're a young man, that you are a young man that is respectable. So you're going to go meet the mother, the father, the family.
I have no problem doing that.
This is who you're going to be. So it's really not a secret, but on social media, everybody wants the world to know.
And that's where I refuse to.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's where but see, that's where I refuse to go in my relationship. Even with the parent thing, I'm nervous with that, because I don't want to introduce you until I know.
Right.
We just said that.
That's what I was asking.
I'm not bringing nobody home that I don't feel like.
As a young, as young ladies, when is the right time to be like, oh, you got to meet my parents? Like, you have to, or should they just be like, I want to meet your parents?
This is me. I always feel that if a young man is respectable after the first couple of times you guys go out,
he would at least want to say what's up.
Sure. Okay.
He's going to come and say, you know what? I'd like to meet your parents because I want them to see who I am.
Yeah.
And also, you're doing your reconnaissance. You need to see what you getting into, because she could be wonderful. You go to the house, you got to go through all these different folks, and when you get to the house, you go, But also, it is the thing about a lot of times young people, they date in secret or they keep things away from their parents, and their parents already can see and already discern what's getting ready to happen. And a lot of times, especially young men, they try to keep from meeting their parents for nobody to blow the cover that they ain't gonna act right. You know, so I always tell young men, if you're gonna act right, you're never afraid of meeting your parents.
Yeah.
You know, if you're afraid to meet your parents, then I'm a question.
Wow, that's good.
That's good.
I agree.
That's real good.
I was just saying, like, on the first date, you ain't finna be meeting moms and
Oh,
dads. You know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
not.
Like, I don't even know.
What's your favorite color?
I mean, I don't know, but I
No.
think even
LeBron
then,
or Kobe? Like,
Right.
but I think even then though, like, you talking about levels. I think even then there's levels to that.
Of what?
For me, when I become a father, if my daughter's going on a date, I'm gonna want to meet her.
The first date?
Yeah.
Well, if they're 16,
Sure.
There's levels to that though.
I'm 25. Okay, like at this point, I feel like if you're 21, older, you paying your own bills.
Give us 20, because I just made it. Give us 20.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
and you're very mature for your age, and I think parents should know too, like what their children can handle.
Right.
But you know, you paying bills, you out here on your own and stuff like that. I don't have to meet you right away. You know, like I just don't think.
And I was
I think it's common courtesy.
That in this season that we're in, men and women need to have a second set of eyes. Because no matter how the presentation is, you know,
there's somebody behind it.
You know, my daughter's 29 years old. I still want to know where she's at and who she's around, because too much craziness is going on.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And one thing about it is, I tell people all the time, when young men have to meet the father and everything of that nature, they will see that there's a man that loves this woman besides you. You know what I'm saying? And so they're going to come with a different step, because it's different. Even when they meet your mother, you know, it's going to be a different step versus, oh, I don't have nobody to answer to except for you. As long as I got you undercover, and that's where the playing on. You know, so my thing is I wasn't a PK kid, but my uncle was a bishop, and it was like grandfather. So everything that we did was very, very public. You know, every pastor knew us. We couldn't go anywhere, be it school trips or anything, without people knowing who we were. And so there was a thing that we were always representing. You know, I remember being pushed down the stairs and could not fight back because we were part of the family. You know what I'm saying? And like every rebellious group of, you know, we just waited that one day. We were just gonna all get a whooping, but we got together and took care of business. But it's like, even in the church, you know, most of the stuff you guys learn in the church. Y'all probably had your first kisses at church. That's quiet.
I don't know about our church.
Huh?
Said I don't know about our church.
church function?
I don't holy crowd.
Yeah,
Shondo.
I don't really remember my first kiss.
And those are things. Those are things. We get taught very early in the church about stuff. We get taught how to hug early. You know what I'm saying? We start off with the hug, and then it goes to the kiss way back here, and when you
Not way back here.
it slides down. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff we learned in the church, and a lot of people think that church kids are square, but
no, they're the worst ones.
We had a lot of freedom.
Them holiness ones.
Yeah,
the worst ones.
Yeah, we had a lot of freedom because, you know, who else could do
Jean skirt wearing.
12 midnight because we had a concert.
Shut up.
I'm just
at 12.
Them lock-ins.
You know what?
And that's facts.
You know what?
That right there, them lock-ins.
I have no lock-ins in my church. We gon'
No.
I'm throwing oil on
Y'all
every
lock
child
in your
before we
room,
have a
lock in there. No.
After the time, bye.
Right. Ain't no lock-ins. You doing a lock-in in the prayer room. One room, one bathroom. One fruit tray. That's it. It's a literal lock-in. We gonna lock in. We gonna pray. One prayer room about big as
You're
this.
annoying.
Everybody get a corner. We call it a day.
How big is this? I can't. I'm not coming. Don't invite me.
Right.
You don't need to be there.
I need 2 different different bathrooms.
I need space to run. What if I
Right.
want to take a lap?
Right.
You
Take
don't
a
need to
lap
lap.
in here.
Harp and bowl tonight. You don't
Oh
need
my
no laps.
gosh.
No laps tonight. But this was good.
Mhm.
I think we're ready to
For
sign
now.
off for now.
Mhm.
Meet us next week, y'all. You never know what's gonna happen.
All
Right.
y'all.